Hello, y'all. Welcome to Sister Speaks with Ari Charmaine. This is episode 2. I'm so excited. I just want to say thank you, everyone who tuned into episode 1. I'm so grateful for all the positivity, all the feedback, all the love, the shares, the likes, the subscriptions. I really do appreciate you guys. That was just absolutely overwhelming. God is good. Here we are for episode 2, though. This episode is called Girl, I Got You. The reason why I titled it Girl, I Got You is because we as women tend to not support each other. Now, remember I told y'all when I started this podcast that it was going to be about sisterhood. We were going to talk about how to support each other, how to uplift each other, how to really walk as queens, how to identify what our purpose may be in life and to really embrace that. And to also give each other a sense of confidence and a sense of, hey, you're not doing this by yourself. You got me too. You may not know me, but I've been through what you've been through, and I can help you get through what you're going through. That's what it's all about. We as women don't support each other enough. We tend to never want to see the next woman come up. We tend to want to keep things to ourselves. And ultimately, that's really how we stay behind the curve. That's really how we are given the stereotype and the negative connotation of us being messy and catty, when ultimately women don't have to be like that. We don't have to feed into that stereotype. So as I was going through this episode and the Lord dropped it on my spirit to really just talk about some things as to why we as women don't support each other. And the first thing that came to my mind was we as women tend to have a sense of competition. You know, we tend to often look at each other as if we see a woman that may be doing a little bit better than us, we tend to kind of pull back from that woman. We tend to kind of initially find some reason to hate on her. We find some reason to talk negative about her, to dim her shine, to make ourselves look a lot better than what she may look like. And ultimately, what we don't realize what we're doing is we're actually hindering our own growth. Because, like I said in my first episode, you never know what that woman may have learned that you might need to learn, that she could possibly drop that onto you. But if she senses that you're kind of like hating on her, you know what I'm saying, and you ain't really trying to support and uplift, who wants to spread that type of knowledge? I know I wouldn't. If I had a friend or a so-called friend who I felt was low-key being shady and hating on me, I really wouldn't want to try to help them, because at the end of the day, you feel like your help and stuff is going to notice, or you feel like people are using you. So that's the first reason why I feel like some women don't support each other. The second reason may be because of intimidation. A lot of times we are intimidated by the fact that a woman may be a little bit more advanced than we are. A lot of times we get intimidated by the fact that maybe a woman is prettier than us, or maybe a woman is a lot more outgoing than we are. We may be, a little bit more reserved and quiet into ourselves, but ultimately, intimidation is a sense of insecurity. It's a lack of confidence. It's a lack of self-esteem. Another woman should not be able to make you intimidated based on just who they are or what they do. If anything, other women should inspire you. If they're really out here living life, they're really out here dropping gems and living life as a woman who has character, has substance, has some sort of confidence about herself, and who is out there grinding, hustling, trying to make her dreams come true, ultimately that should be an inspiration to you and not an intimidation. Another reason why I feel like women are, not necessarily supportive of each other is jealousy. Let's keep it real. Sometimes we may see a girl who we think may have a little bit more than we do, and we get jealous. I done been there. I done seen a girl who I'm like, ooh, dang, I wish I had that, or I wish I had this. But that's a form of jealousy and envy, and ultimately, we shouldn't be jealous or envious of nothing nobody has, because number one, you don't know what it took that woman to get to where she is. You don't know what she went through to get what she has. She could have went through hell and back, but all of it was for her testimony and her purpose. That may not be the same story for you. You may actually have to go through something different than what she goes through in order to get what she has, and you may end up getting something a whole lot better than that. It's always good to encourage, to support, to uplift. Hey sis, you're doing good. Hey sis, I've really been watching you from afar. You really out here doing your thing. I appreciate you. Continue to do your thing. Continue to strive. Always uplift, because number one, you never know who's watching you from afar. It could be somebody that's watching you thinking that you got it going on, but then they see you over here throwing shade at the next woman, and next thing you know, oh yeah, she really ain't what she says. She really not about, the things that she says she's about. So it's important as a woman to really practice encouraging each other and encouraging ourselves. It feeds out what you get. What you put out to other people is normally what you're putting into your own self. So if you're feeding out negativity to other women, that means because you obviously have something inside of you that you're not comfortable with. something inside of you that you feel like you're lacking, and so you have to deflect that negative energy onto the next woman when ultimately you're really just hurting yourself, sis. Like, you really are. We need to stick together. These men out here, they really think that we're catty, that we're petty, that we're all about drama, that there's a lot of stereotypes, and we sometimes feed into that. We may know, the woman's past. We may see a girl and we're like, ooh, I used to know what she used to do back in the day. She used to do this, that, and the third, and now she over here doing that. She don't deserve to have that. She don't deserve to have this. Not from where she came from. Let me stop you right there. You don't know what God took that woman through to get her to where she is. You don't know. It's not your place to judge nobody's past. It's not your place to judge nobody's present. And it's doggone sure not your place to judge anybody's future. It's your place to worry about what you have going on and to try to be that light for the next person. Because like I said before, you never know who's watching you. You never know who is watching you from afar and watching your every move and seeing if you really are about the life that you say you live. I know a lot of people who preach positivity, they're on social media or even in person. But if you really, really, really get to know them, they're very jealous of other women. They tend to try to compete. They tend to try to move on up ahead of the next one and not, help the person coming up behind them. It's all about when you get up the ladder, lend your hand down to the next one coming up behind you and bring them up. You two could be a partner. You two can be, uplifting each other. I am very big on having friends who encourage me. Having friends that encourage me is important because, number one, it lets me know that I'm not in this by myself. It lets me know that I'm not going through this. This ain't the first time anybody has gone through what I'm going through, and it won't be the last. It's good to know that you just got somebody on your side that you can vent to, somebody on your side that you can just cry a shoulder on, somebody on your side that, and most importantly, can go to God on your behalf and pray and be that intercessor for you when you need it. In Romans 2:1, it says, there is no excuse to pass judgment on someone else for whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself. What that says is we have no room to judge anybody because when you're judging someone else, you're also basically passing judgment on yourself. It's always important to not look at somebody else's situation and to think that, oh, well, they doing this or they doing that. You never know. Like I said, you never know what that person has gone through to get to where they at. And their life, where they've been and where they've gone through and what they've come to be can be a testimony that actually might help you, to deal with some of the things that you have going on. I know for me, I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. I have 2 younger sisters and a younger brother. And all my life, I have been tested in being very supportive, being very uplifting, being very encouraging. Because as the oldest sibling, the oldest girl with 2 younger sisters, I have 2 young ladies that look up to me, that watch my every move. They watch the decisions I make. They watch the way I handle situations to see, if I'm going to make the right choices. And ultimately, they want to know if I'm going to make the right choices so that when they, encounter a situation that's similar, they're like, oh, well, my sister did this, and it worked out good for her, so I'm going to try to do that. But if you're over here making the wrong decisions, nobody's going to want to follow that. It's important to always remember that you never know who's watching you. There could be something about you that someone else sees and they don't understand, exactly why you're in the position that you're in. One thing I want to say to somebody out there to encourage you is don't ever, ever, ever ever question the position of life that you're in. You're in it for a reason. You're in it for a season. And 9 times out of 10, you're not going through it just because you got to go through. You're going through it for somebody else to be that testimony, to let them know, hey, sis, I made it through this, and you can do the same thing. Here's what you got to do. But what it is you got to be open. You got to have that heart to want to, share what you've learned with other people, share the mistakes that you've made and what it took to get to where you are. We don't always get it right the first time. Sometimes it takes 2 and 3 times to make the same mistake over and over and over again until you finally like, you know what? I get it. And even then, when you get it, it's important to spread that knowledge to the next woman. No one is allowed to judge. For in Romans 3:23, it says, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That means that everybody's done something that they're not proud of. Everybody has made a mistake that they necessarily don't, want to own up to. But it's about accountability and knowing that, look, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We are in this together. We got to support each other, ladies. We have to. This society now has made it to where it's been an independent society where we are all about self. It's all about get mine, mine, mine. Don't worry about the next one. Get mine, mine, mine. And we can't continue to live like that because, number one, it makes us feel like ultimately like we're alone, and that the things that we go through, that nobody else experiences them. Another thing that I want to bring to you as attention is the fact that, a lot of times we don't even realize how much drama surrounds us on a daily basis. You know how when you wake up, I'm guilty of it, y'all. Sometimes, I don't get up right away and say my prayers. Sometimes it takes me maybe, 30 minutes into my day and I'm like, oh, I didn't pray. Let me thank God. Sometimes, out of habit, I wake up and I get on my phone. And the first thing I do is I see Instagram, Facebook, or whatever social media site I choose to get on. And it's nothing but just negativity and drama. And this one is beefing with this one. And this one is, it's all comparisons. Who wore this better? Who dressed this better? Who does this better than the next one? So much drama that we don't even realize that we are feeding into our minds subconsciously. A lot of competition that really doesn't need to be there. It's important to stay away from women that gossip a lot, women that tend to always have something negative to say about another woman, because let me tell you something, sis. If she's talking bad about that woman, more than likely she's talking bad about you to somebody else. So just be careful. Women that tend to always gotta bring the bone and bring the tea, and that ain't how you support each other. If you ever have a friend or somebody, hopefully y'all don't have friends like that, but if you ever have somebody in your circle that comes to you and they always bring a drama. Ooh, girl, let me tell you about such and such. Ooh, girl, let me tell you about this. And girl, I don't like how she do this. You might want to check them and be like, look, if you're talking about them the way you're talking about them, I wonder what you say about me when I'm not around, because best believe they're talking about you when you're not around. And it's things that you probably would not like. So it's important to, stay away from people that gossip. Stay away from people that always carry the tea. It's important to also realize, sometimes we as women, naturally, we can be kind of petty. You know what I'm saying? That's another sense of competition. We tend to, want to throw shade at the other woman. If your friend comes to you and say, girl, I just got a new job. Or you like, I see you just got your little job or whatever. Or I see you just got your little, your new little man over there. Like anybody that says the whole little something in front of something, sis, I beg you to be wary of them and to kind of be cautious of that person, because that's this form of undermining your accomplishments, undermining the fact that, you're out here making progress in this world. You're out here dipping in and doing it, as Wendy Williams would say. But you out here just, doing your thing. And you need that woman to sit there and say, girl, I'm proud of you. I see you out here doing your thing. But if you got a woman in your life that's, I see you with your little such and such. I see you with your little this, your little that. Nah, sis, you might need to reevaluate that friendship. That lady is really not for you. They're not supportive of what you have going on. In the minute that you fail, they right there probably laughing at you. So be careful of women like that. Be careful also that we aren't women like that. Sometimes we might just subconsciously say something, that might be a little slight shade towards the next female, because like I said, subconsciously we feed that into our mind on a daily basis with all the negativity that we see, with all the, competition and the next one got to be better than this one. It happens. It's normal, but it's also important for us to be conscious of it and to work on it every day. One thing I want to make an example out of is, when I get on social media, I see the whole, I'm a big music head. I love music, R&B, hip hop, all types. I really, really, really am big on female rappers. I'm big on female rappers as far as them supporting each other. And the example I had to bring up was, this whole Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma beef. So my initial, opinion of it was, oh, okay, they just, trying to fight to get on top or whatever. That's the rap game. There's only can be one queen of rap, I guess you can say, which I think is stupid. I feel like if you bomb at what you do, especially in a male-dominated field such as rap, as a woman, if you're bombing what you do and the next one is just as bomb as you, girl, y'all better make a collab and make that coin. They tripping, real talk. Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma are tripping when it comes to this beef, because honestly, they're both talented women and they really could be supporting each other. Imagine, the type of momentum that they would have if they came together and, were more uplifting women. You know what I'm saying? Showing these young girls that women can get along. Women can do business together. Women can change the narrative. Women can change the world. Women can run it together. But, people in hell want ice water and they can't get that either. So it's all about, just learning to support each other. It's nothing wrong with giving another woman a compliment. Nothing wrong. Some of the pros of, having support from a woman is, you get that sense of loyalty. You get that sense of accountability. Okay, let me stop right there. Ladies, let's talk about accountability for a second. If you got a friend in your life And she's never holding you accountable for when you do things that are, not ladylike or not necessarily your character. You might want to evaluate the type of friend that you have, because she really doesn't care about the type of woman that you are. Having a friend in your life that has you as an accountability partner and holds you accountable for the actions and decisions that you choose to make is also important. Number one, it keeps you on your P's and Q's. It makes it so that you always know that there is somebody watching you. There is somebody looking up to you, depending and counting on you to make the right choices. Not now, look, that may seem like a lot of pressure. I get it. I'm the oldest of 4 siblings, 2 younger sisters. Being the oldest girl, period, is a lot of pressure. But even with that being said, I would rather have to have that type of pressure on me than to have this type of pressure on me of feeling like I need to compete with somebody. I'd rather want to be that light, that supportive, that encouragement for the next one, because I would really hate to see, my own younger sisters feeling like they don't have me to be there to push them and to uplift them and to show them like, hey sis, this is the path that I chose and this is the right way it's supposed to go. If you follow me, I promise you'll get to where you need to be. That's what it's all about. It's really all about that. For spiritual women, it's good to, like I said, have a woman in your life that you can vent to, that you can talk to, that you can, that can encourage you, drop some scriptures in your spirit. But this is the most important part. There's also always important to have a woman in your life that goes to God on your behalf. I cannot tell you how many times I have talked to a friend and I talk to them just to vent, and I'm like, look sis, just pray for me. And like I said, you never know when a person will pray for you. All you can say is, look sis, I just need you to pray for me. But if you ever get that request from your friend to pray for them, I ask you to take heed to that. Do not take that very lightly. If a woman comes to you and says, sis, I need you to pray for me, they really need you to go to God on their behalf for something that's bothering them. They feel like, I need some support in talking to God about this. That is so important. I cannot tell you the amount of importance it is to me as a woman. When a woman tells me, sis, pray for me, I just need you to pray for me. Just, keep me in your prayers, because if they're going through whatever they're going through. I take that very seriously, because they entrusted me to be an intercessor of prayer on their behalf, to talk to God, our Father, about my sister and about the things that she's going through, that she's being bothered by, that she feels like she can't handle on her own. That's an important task that a friend, may give to you, to be that person that you can hold accountable in all aspects of your life. It's really important for us to be that friend as well. It's a lot of times we expect women to be this type of friend to us, to, encourage me and lift me, be that friend that supports me, listens to me vent. But ultimately, what are you doing? Are you being that friend to her as well? Sometimes, I've been in situations where I feel like I'm giving more to my friends than I'm getting out. Sometimes I've been in situations where I feel like, I'm always dropping encouragement. But when I need my friend, sometimes they're not there. Was that really a friend? I had to really realize that it wasn't really a friend. Anybody that cannot be there for you in your time of need, that are just there for the turn up, but ain't there for when it gets real deal spill, ain't no turning back, I really need some help. That's not a friend that you want in your life. That's not somebody that you feel like can really, really, really grow with you. A person that can grow with you is somebody that can go through the hard times, go through the good times, go through the ups and downs with you, and still be that friend that's like, look, I don't judge you. We done all been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, girl, I was with you when you was doing it. I ain't judging you. It is what it is. But it's about learning and growing from your mistakes and your situations. Also, as young women, it's important to know that, like I said, I'm the oldest of 4 siblings, got 2 younger sisters. Your younger sisters look up to me. You have young women that are probably looking up to you that you don't have no idea they are. But it's about, they're watching you from afar. And sometimes they mimic, the things that they see us older women do. They mimic the way that we treat each other. They end up treating their friends at school that way, and we don't even know it. For those of you that have kids, and your kids see you as mothers, the way you talk to your friends. I cannot stand when my friends refer to me as the B word. I am not with it. I can't. Girl, we not no B's. And if you don't allow a man to call you a B, why would you let your girlfriend call you that? Like, why? For what? To me, that's not a term of endearment. That's like, just shows that as a woman, you don't respect me, and I don't respect you. And the title that I give you, I can't take it. That's something that's not conducive to women's growth as a group. So, Yeah, so other younger girls really do, they watch how you handle other women. So also be careful what you feed into your mind. Sometimes we don't, or we're not mindful of the fact that we need to be feeding positivity. We need to be feeding encouragement into our minds. We need to be practice complimenting each other. Anybody that knows me that goes out with me knows that if I see a girl, her hair is cute, or she got on a cute outfit, or whatever the case may be, if she looks good, I'm gonna tell her, girl, you pretty. I really like your outfit, or I like your hair, or you look this, or you. I have no problem complimenting another woman because I feel like, number one, I'm confident in myself. So with me complimenting another woman does not take away from anything that I have going on. It doesn't do nothing for me other than it makes me see that woman smile. She may have been feeling down about herself, and here I am, a random stranger. I come up and I'm like, girl, your hair looks cute today. And they may have thought that they just did whatever to their hair. But it's all about complimenting each other, allowing each other to know that, sis, I see you. You're beautiful. You out here doing it. You out here getting it. I see you. You're doing your thing. I'm watching you, and I really appreciate the fact that you're sticking to it. That's what it's all about. If we as women just understood that concept and grasped it and really acted on it and lived that out, man, we would be a force to be reckoned with. So it's important to aspire, anybody that aspires to be married one day or, are currently married. Like I said, y'all, I've been married before, am divorced, and I went through a point in time where, I had to really learn, my husband at the time, he told me, he didn't like a woman that was, catty and was into a lot of drama, someone that was negative all the time. And most men, honestly, y'all, ladies, a lot of men don't like a catty, petty woman. A woman that's always talking about the next woman, talking negatively about her. A man is not going to be attracted to that. A man is not going to be drawn to a woman because, like I said, it shows a lack of confidence in yourself that you have to put another woman down to make yourself feel better. It's what you got going on inside that you feel like you have to talk bad about the next woman just to make yourself feel better. That's unhealthy, and it's really something that needs to be, looked at on the inside. I've been guilty of it. I've definitely had my moments where, I may see a girl and at the moment I'm not feeling good about myself, so I may say something about her. But it's all about being conscious of doing that type of stuff and making sure that we're not feeding that type of, negativity into our lives. It's also important to, don't turn your nose up at another woman. Don't turn your nose up at what you think she should or should not be doing. It's not your place to judge anybody because the place that you are in your life, it may not be perfect. It may not be spiffy clean. Everybody has issues that they need to work on every single day, daily. Like I said, in the Bible, it says that we all have fallen short, have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. That's real. That means that no one's sin is better than the other. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is better than anybody else. We all, every day, fall. Every day, make a mistake. Every day, do something that we know we shouldn't. It's all about supporting each other, saying, look, sis, I know you did this, but that don't have to be your end-all, be-all. I got you. I got you. Girl, I got you. So, always be mindful of things like that. And you never know what that person has gone through, and there's some things that she's gone through that you may not understand. If God chose her to do what she's doing, that ain't your place to question, because ultimately what you're doing is you're questioning God. You're basically saying, look, I know you made this person or whatever, they all right or whatever, but I just don't feel like they worth whatever you giving them. First of all, who is you to be telling God who he can and cannot, allow to fulfill their destiny and to fulfill their purpose? Who are you to tell him that person ain't good enough? Let me tell you something. The day you created a world, the day you made a person, the day you created this heaven and this earth and allowed the sun to set and rise the same time every day, then that's when you can question who is good enough to do what and to lead this and do that. Like I said, you don't know what that person went through. You don't know what their testimony is. Always, always, always uplift each other. You never know what somebody's going through. They may need that encouragement from another woman. They may always have issues where women don't support them. Women are always jealous of them for whatever reason. And they may just need that one woman that's like, sis, I got you. You're doing it. I'm proud of you. You're really out here living life and being a positive light. I see you. Keep it up. It's all about the positive affirmations. And you never know that you can empower yourself from empowering somebody else. Empowered women empower other women. They do that. They have no problem with spreading their positivity to the next woman. You don't get to dictate who God chooses to use as his living vessel. That's just not our place. I'm sorry, God he don't need our help. He uses whoever he sees and calls fit to do his will and to bring glory to his name. So it's always important to remember that. You always remember too, when you're judging somebody else and not supporting that other woman, really think about like the gift that she's called to do or whatever she has going on in her life. Think about, did you have a part in manifesting her gift? No, more than likely, no, you didn't. It's all about what God has for her, what God has placed as the calling upon her life, what she's supposed to do as far as serving him. That has nothing to do with you. Your job solely is to live your best life and to support the next one. Please support. Ephesians 4:9 says, 2 are better than one because they have a good return for their work. If one falls down, his friend can help him up. Now, what that's basically saying is, it's important to always have that one person that you can lean and depend on. This life is not easy. This life is hard on a daily basis, y'all. We fall, we deal with things that we feel like we often are dealing with by ourselves. It's important to have that one friend that you can lean on and depend on and trust and know that they're going to laugh with you. They're going to cry on your shoulder. You can cry on theirs. And there'll be no judgment. That they're always want to see you be the best person that you can be. Always wanting to see you, strive to just love life and to live your best life and to be that, that woman that you're called to be in God. It's always important to have that. That's one of the best feelings in the world, to have that one friend. And then it's important to take a look at your own heart. A lot of the things I talked about earlier in this video about, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, intimidation, jealousy. It's important to take a look into our own hearts and to see, are those some qualities that I possess as a woman? Are those, the qualities that I portray outwardly that causes other women not to gravitate towards me? I know I went through a point in my life where, like I said, y'all, I was in a point of isolation where God really did remove a lot of my friends from me, or so-called friends. It was really because I wasn't being the type of friend I was supposed to be to them. They were being the friends that I needed them to be for me for that point in time in my life, but I wasn't reciprocating that to them. And it showed in my outward, behaviors and how I treated them. We started to argue over things that a lot of the times were my fault because I was dealing with things, insecurities in myself that I had no idea that I was portraying onto my friends. And it started to show. So we often tend to try to look good on the outside. Y'all see me, I got my makeup on, hair all laid, clothes is done. We love to look good on the outside, but really it's about what's on the inside. What is really in our hearts? How do we really, really feel on the inside? Because ultimately, once all of this is gone, your inward appearance is going to show. Your character is going to eventually come out. The real you, who you say you are, is going to come out. So it's important to always take a look at our own hearts. A woman of God can always sift a catty, petty, type of woman if her discernment is right. Sometimes, if we haven't asked God to give us the proper discernment to, be able to wean out the women in our that come across our lives that are not necessarily good for us, we'll end up falling for anything. We'll end up, gravitating towards that woman who, we think is good for us, who we think will be that good friend, and might end up being a bad relationship at the end of the day. So it's always important to ask yourself, are you the woman that's uplifting, or are you the one that's, being catty and petty? Which one are you? And it's always good to self-evaluate. Ecclesiastes 7:1 says, a good name is better than fine perfume. So what that says is your reputation, who people know you as, is better than what you look like on the outside. You can look bomb, sis. I'm talking about you can be looking thebomb.com. But if on the inside you're ugly and messed up, girl, that ain't gonna matter not one bit. Because what it's gonna do is a real woman, a real good friend who's looking for another good friend will be able to sift out the fact that, you ain't really all the way there. So it's important to be mindful of what type of woman, that you're presenting to the world. Also, it's important to have friends, if you have friends that have dreams or goals, support your friends in the things that they want to do for their lives. Oftentimes, it's easy to get complacent. It's easy to get comfortable in the state of life that we are in. But if you have friends in your life that are trying to progress and to move forward in life, just be there for them. You don't have, just be there for them. Support their dreams, support their goals. Anybody that's trying to start a small business or anybody that's trying to just do anything, always uplift and encourage them. You never know how much they need that. You never know what they're going through in their life. They could be going through tough times, They could need you to just be there in prayer. They could need you to just be a listening ear. You know, they could need you to just be non-judgmental. Oftentimes, a lot of times, us women don't like to talk to other women because we judge each other. Even though we done probably did the same thing, we just too scared to say it. We want to uphold this certain image. You're not helping the next person. You sure aren't helping yourself. You're not helping yourself grow. It's important that when we as women come together, we really can influence the entire world to, you know, band together and do what we are supposed to do as women. I think it was last year we had the Women's March, and the amount of women in the country that showed up for each other was amazing. It showed that when we really band together to uplift each other, to love on each other, to support each other, we can really make such a difference in this world. We really can. That is really important. So you guys, ultimately, for the end of this episode, I really just want to leave you with a quote. You know, it's important, once again, to uplift each other, to be there, to always let your girlfriend know, your sister, your friend, whoever she is, girl, I got you. You're not in this alone. We got this together. If you fall, I'm there to pick you right back up. If I fall, you should be there to pick me right back up. We are in this together. It's about togetherness. So the quote I want to leave you guys with today is, the best kind of friendships are fierce lady friendships, where you aggressively believe in each other, you defend each other, you can grow together, and think the other really truly deserves the world. That's one of my favorite quotes when it comes to friends. And I hope that, you know, you all take something from this when it comes to uplifting each other. I pray that someone's spirit was touched in wanting to be a better friend to maybe a friend that they have, that they feel like they have been lacking in that area. I really truly pray that you all really take heed to, you know, how important it is to really truly support and love on each other, because ultimately we're all we got. We have to be there for each other. Have to. It takes a village to really make it through this life. And that doesn't just mean with kids, period. It takes a lot of support. We're not, as men and women, we're not allowed to go through this life alone. We're meant to be there for each other. So let's really try to walk in that, to be there for each other. Okay, y'all? All right, y'all. Well, that was the end of episode 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you all for listening. I pray that you guys got something out of it. Again, my information will be down in the bottom. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. Like this video, subscribe to it if you really want to see more videos from me. I will be up every week posting videos for you guys until, you know, I just can't do it no more, which is not going to be anytime soon, because I absolutely love you guys. Thank you for your support. This was Sister Speaks with Ari Charmaine, episode 2, the Under Wraps. Booyah. See y'all next week.